Hello, brothers and sisters of light, and welcome to my page. My page is about common sense. I try to keep it down under the nitty-gritty, under 10 minutes. And if it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very, very, very important. And not important to liberals, libertards, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. Listener's discretion is advised. Listener's discretion is advised. Going down the rabbit hole, not up your asshole. If you're a sensitive, you're a libertard, you're emotional, you're a biased bitch, or any of those individuals, a stick in the muds, NPCs, EDBs, please do not watch my videos. I am not ambitious like that. I don't look for subscribers, and I'm not looking to be validated by most of you imbeciles out there. Alright, check out my credentials. Let's get on with the videotape. This video is about a woman left her fiance and a comfortable life for an African Messiah warrior. As we watch this video, I will be talking and making pointers in this video. Alright? Okay. Check out my credentials down below before you know, because I know almost, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Other than that, let us begin. Shall we roll the tape?
This story is completely illogical and full of contradictions. Once upon a time, a business owner woman from Switzerland saw a Maasai warrior on a ferry. She fell in love, left her fiancé and her comfortable life behind, and moved to Kenya to marry this warrior. Watch this video to find out what happened next. Corinne Hoffman was born in Switzerland into an ordinary family. Her life was easy and predictable. She studied at a religious school, then opened her own wedding dress shop. Corinne's friends were waiting for her to finally get to wear a wedding dress herself, but Corinne was more interested in work than her boyfriend Marco. Their relationship never reached the proposal part, which is...
Wow, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. It reached the proposal part, but she never really got married to him. Now, I was told by many women that when white women go over to Africa, it's usually infatuation, lust. She's in the heat. She loved black cock, by the way. And then on top of that, you got to watch these type of females. Think about it. The guy is probably smaller, okay? But wait. Let's continue on with the videotape, okay?
Probably why this story happened during their trip to Kenya. During the ferry crossing, Marco pointed out a Maasai warrior who was aboard with them to Corinne. His features were so regular, so beautiful that it could be a woman's face, but his demeanor, a proud look and a muscular body convinced me otherwise. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. Sitting in the rays of the setting sun, he looked like a young god. A young warrior named Likatinga Lepamarijo impressed the woman so much that she literally went crazy over him. She started panicking, trying to figure out how she could see him again. Let's take a look at this handsome man together. Actually, even from the book The White Maasai written by Corinne herself, it's hard to understand what exactly it was that impressed her so much. Maybe it was because her boyfriend was a bit on the smaller side and didn't adorn himself with such beautiful beads. But the fact remains, the woman was so smitten with this man that in just a couple of days she broke up with her fiancé, and 6 months later she sold her...
Are you fucking out of your mind? Oh, that is so crazy. This must be an exaggerated story, but these things do happen. They happen on occasion, okay? Whenever a white woman have not had any black cock before. This is why Negroes is not extinct and the Native Americans are. But anyway, I had to say that shit. People keep comparing Native Americans to Africa. I said, no, they're not. They're not the same. Two different cultures, dog. They may have similar features, but trust me, if the Native American individuals had bigger cocks, they would be slaves too, okay? If they had the same build, okay? But no hate, it's just comedy and humor, okay? But let's get on with the videotape.
store and returned to Kenya to reunite with her warrior.
Oh my god.
And that's where all the fun begins. Much to Corinne's dismay, she found out that the European and Maasai versions of love were somewhat different. The Maasai...
As a matter of fact, you know how them Africans are over there. They're not into romance, they're into polygyny, and they also got tribes where they check your virginity, okay? So I don't know what their procedures are. Every tribe is different. But I know it's harder, okay, over there, okay? The men do not have emotions like that. They're not romantic. It's a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's very simple, low maintenance type of fucking. All right, let's continue on with the videotape.
Believe that kissing is disgusting. That the mouth is given to people for.
Me, I always felt that kissing is a bad thing, especially if a female is in heat, because I feel that it shouldn't be about kissing. It should be about not just looking at each other's eyes. It should just be attraction, a natural attraction, because kissing to me is a form of romance. So you actually have to be turned on, because women told me this. So most women tell me, so whatever your story is, that's up to you. But when you kiss, you're being turned on by that. The pressing of the nipples and all that stuff. That's you're being turned on because you're not really turned on. You have to kiss and you have to be fondled that way because you're not really turned on. Okay, like I said before, many times when women are interested in men, if they are immediately attracted and drawn to you by their estrogen levels, okay, they just want to fuck. They do not need all that petting and all that other shit. But let's continue on out here.
Food, and they don't know how to make love and don't pay attention to their partners at all. Moreover, there are more restrictions in this matter than pleasure.
Oh, yes.
But her love was so strong that even this fact didn't scare the woman away. The lovers were supposed to live in a small house made of dried cow manure, twigs, and God knows what else.
And as I lived in Ethiopia, they had cement brick houses, okay? The further out you go in Ethiopia, there are huts. Yes, there is. They use mules and cows and stuff to ride. They're not cows, but they ride donkeys and stuff like that, because I see them all across the road. But other than that, let's continue on out here. It's a very, very human and natural, as you know, in nature. They're living in nature, okay? Because that's what the African people are, more to the earth. They're not a technologically savvy race of people. This is by fact, okay? But I'm not trying to hate on black folks down here. But let's continue on out here. If I can't get this video posted on YouTube, I'll put it on my Rumble or my Getter, okay? This is how it is, okay? Let's continue on out here.
They had to wash in the river and use the bushes for a bathroom. Corinne did not get a chance to impress Likatinga with her culinary skill because men and women in the Maasai tribe eat separately. And moreover, men can't eat anything a woman has touched or even looked at.
Oh man, that's crazy, right? There was the Norse believed that they should not be sleeping with any other colored races because they thought that was a curse themselves. So everybody got their own belief systems. It was more like a taboo. Because it was during those days where they would like look down on their own Viking brother if they ever tried to talk to a colored female of any race, okay, which is crazy.
So Likatinga only ever drank tea in the presence of his wife. All these intricacies were explained to Corinne by her friend Priscilla, a woman from the tribe that Corinne got into.
Also, you know, the thing is that since they do believe in polygyny, they're going to have to ask permissions from the families and stuff. So that's what she's doing, which she is probably going to be doing and stuff. So if you want to watch this video in entirety without me complimenting or saying anything, I will post the link inside of the description down below, okay? Let's continue.
To top it all off, Likatinga, like many Maasai people, used illicit substances and chewed mireya, a herb known for its intoxicating effect on the mind. Getting married also turned out to be a difficult task because Likatinga didn't have a passport, but bureaucratic troubles didn't scare away the Swiss woman in love. Eventually, Corinne got a Kenyan citizenship and got her wedding, although by the standards of the Maasai, Corinne was already too old for it. What? She was 27 years old at the time. The groom's mother liked the woman, and she said her final word, so the wedding happened. At the wedding, the unpleasant surprises just kept on rolling. For example, Corinne found out that the Maasai men are allowed to marry several women. It's interesting that she didn't think to ask about it in advance.
You see what I'm saying? I keep telling people, African people don't believe in monogamous relationships. That is where the alphaness comes from. And women don't tend to listen when I say, okay, in your right mindset, do you think you're supposed to be monogamous with a king? Especially if you can't have kids. Are you supposed to be getting married and then have sex? No. In all religions, it said it's okay for a man to be physically, sexually active with a female to make sure she is fruitful and fruitile, okay? In Deuteronomy and in all religions, okay? Especially, and if she's found out not to be a virgin, oh my motherfucking God, man. But anyway, let's continue on out here.
She didn't think about hundreds of other things.
Yeah.
Like the fact that her husband dreamed of having at least 8 children.
I want 12.
While Corinne felt
right?
that 2 would be more than enough. Actually, the woman wasn't even
selfish women only want 1 too, because the thing is that when you have children, your vagina sizes change. Women don't want to believe that. If you keep using dildos and stuff, and you going down there and you doing all this stuff, and you think that's going to be okay, the man is going to feel it, especially if he's average. If he's a huge, humongous individual, even if he's huge, you can burn out your goddamn nerve endings. It's called nully pussy. Nullify your nerve endings. Yes, it can happen. Let's continue on now here.
If she could have children at all. So her husband argued that in that case, a second wife would be needed to have children, which convinced Corinne to allow her husband to have a second wife over time. We talked, and I agreed to the following. If in 2 years I didn't give birth to his child, he could marry again. Otherwise, he'd have to wait at least 5 years.
5 years?
He agreed with my proposal, and I calmed myself down, thinking that 5 years was a very long time.
She said she had to calm herself down and get the fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. You're going to come into their country and say, okay, I might as well stop getting hysterical because my pussy might not be all that shit. I might not be able to get pregnant, so I'm going to be selfish with you for the rest of my life. But instead, what she going to do, she going to cheat. That's the whole goal of her in this fucking video. Watch. Listen.
Overall, we have to give Corinne credit. She adapted to life in the African desert as best as she could. To begin with, the woman bought a car.
Malaria.
Even though it broke down almost every time she used it,
yeah.
This purchase nevertheless made her life much easier. Then, Corinne opened a small grocery store, and everything could have turned out well if it weren't for Likatinga's habit of giving out food on credit, and then forgetting about it. Living in terrible conditions without normal food, water, and the ability to wash up, Corinne still didn't give up. She suffered from malaria, but survived thanks to a wet...
Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me just tell you guys again, vaccines are not... I don't know, okay? I'm not saying anything about vaccines. But go holistic. There is a way to protect yourself from malaria, okay? Just do the research holistic-wise. I'm not saying necessarily you shouldn't take vaccines because I'll get this video pulled down. I recommend, okay, going Dr. Sebi way or holistic, okay? But they might pull this video down just because of this, you know, malaria and shit. I ain't gonna say no further. Let's continue.
Friend whom she met at the very beginning of her trip.
She almost died?
If her friend hadn't found Corinne in the hospital, she would have most probably died. Then Corinne and Likatinga had a daughter, Impiri, and the warrior even seemed to be a great father at first, but it didn't last long. Sometime later, Likatinga said the child wasn't his. He started getting jealous more and more often, while other men of the tribe started discussing who would marry Corinne's daughter.
What?
Even though she wasn't even a year old at the time.
Not even a year old, and they thinking about banging the daughter. Oh my God. She probably did cheat. Oh my God. That is fucking crazy. What did I just say? What did I just say? If you want to find out if a child is not yours, just look at the specifications, the features of the child. You know, my firstborn daughter looks like me. My secondborn daughter look like her mom. There's no kind of way around that. If that child look any different, like majorly different, you can't tell something's wrong with you. Or you can just get a DNA result. Damn, okay, you know, I'm like, I can tell that's not my child or not. I'm not stupid, okay, but let's continue.
It was then that the woman realized that the love had passed and it was time to save herself and her daughter from these unbearable conditions. One day, having gone home for a visit, Corinne never returned. It wasn't easy, but the woman managed to get a divorce and stayed in Switzerland, where she and her daughter spent a long time restoring their health after living in the tribe. Thus, Corinne spent a total of 4 years in Kenya. After returning home, she continued to support Likatinga and his mother by sending them money. In 1998, Corinne published her autobiography titled The White Maasai. The book describes in great detail the ways of the tribe and her life in inhuman conditions. And in 2005, Herman Huntberth made a movie based on the book. But let's be honest, she romanticized the image of Likatinga and the whole story a bit too much. Yet the reality described by Corinne in her autobiography leaves the reader with only one legitimate question. Was it really worth it? Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and watch the rest of our videos.
Yes, very interesting story, but I'm trying to tell you right now, most of the time when I hear stories of white women going over there, or even Chinese women trying to meet American men, okay, in general, it's either something very simple, not very hard. And you already know that what white women say about black men, they usually say they're used as a piece, a love piece. That's all it is, okay? You know, that's what most white women told me, okay? So if you want to disagree, you go ahead and come to me. We can talk about that, okay? And they only use white men just because the mucho, okay? You know, that's all it is. And let any man, if any race go over another country, it's automatically that key money sign come up in their head. You got to test them for that. It's a whole list of things you got to do to make sure to get rid of that problem in any underdeveloped country's woman's mindset, because their whole goal is to think about, okay, he's an American. Okay, but other than that, that's all I really want to say about this video. Okay, I'm making this for my associate friend. I'm also going to post this on my Rumble if it's not approved on my YouTube. All right. Other than that, I hope you get the point what this whole video was about. It was a white woman trying to get the Bojangles, get the brown chocolate Bojangles, baby. The Vienna sausage, the Tootsie Rootsie roll. Okay, all right. Other than that, peace. You learn something each time. Peace.